Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Duel of the Takes. Today, well, we're doing something interesting. In honor of March Madness, the NCAA college basketball tournament's going on right now. We're going to do the biggest bracket we have ever done for movie tie-in games. Yeah, this is a Kubis idea.
Cars.
So we've got 64 movie tie-in video games. I'm assuming mostly from like the late 90s through early 2000s. I haven't looked at this bracket yet. And I think like THQ was a big publisher of these for a very long time, but before them was like LJN, and there were a lot of like companies that specifically designed movie tie-in games, and a lot of them went under right around like the end of the Wii era, the rise of the MCU. Well, without further ado, what we're going to do in this speed round, we're going to announce what games they are, and we're just going to say which one we think should move on, because this is almost overwhelming.
Almost.
All right, up first, we've got Cars on, PlayStation 2, GameCube, etc. Up against another Pixar film, Monsters, Inc. 3, 2, 1. Monsters, Inc.
Cars.
All right, I'm the only one who said Monsters, Inc. PlayStation 3 version of Toy Story 3 up against the Xbox 360 version of Ratatouille.
I just found the random photos of it. We don't have to go by the console.
Yeah. Toy Story 3 versus Ratatouille. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3. Ratatouille. It's called the speed round, Josh.
It's the only time I'm not going to vote for it, but I think I got to give it the Toy Story 3.
Man.
All right. Up next, we've got The Incredibles up against Chicken Little. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
The Incredibles. The Incredibles.
Chicken Little game's better.
I haven't played the Chicken Little game.
I've played almost all of these games, and I'm actually thinking about this.
Well, that makes one of us.
I've played both of these. I'm standing by Chicken Little.
I only played the Incredibles game, and I'm gonna go with the Incredibles.
I think the Incredibles 2 Rise of the Underminer game is a better, more polished game.
Fuck it. I'm going to go in my heart and say Chicken Little.
All right, Shrek 2 versus Shrek the Third. The only reason Shrek the Third should move on is because it's a better the video game has a better story than the actual movie it's based on.
You know what? All right.
They used the early storyboards of like the original version of the script, and we're like, we're gonna make a game around this, and then they changed the script like 6 times. It's really, really like the plot of the Shrek the Third video game is pretty good. Shark Tale versus Madagascar. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Madagascar.
Madagascar, yeah.
Madagascar.
Over the Hedge versus the Bee Movie. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Over the Hedge.
Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge.
For the bumper carts alone.
Yeah, the Over the Hedge games are better. Like the
mini games and like the multiplayer.
The Sega Genesis port of Aladdin versus the Sega Genesis port of The Lion King. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Aladdin.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but Aladdin over Lion King.
I'm also saying this.
Yeah.
We've got GeForce up against the Treasure Planet game. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
GeForce. GeForce?
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 Yeah, GeForce is a better game.
All right. What
Oh no.
the fuck, Josh?
Who the fuck seeded this bracket?
Josh.
Listen, there are 2 games all about a season.
Okay.
Really? I thought the Space Jam was just one game.
No, Michael Jordan comes back to the Bulls at the end.
All right, we've got Open Season up against Space Jam. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Open season.
This next round is a little sneak preview of a video we've got coming up, or I guess an episode, I should say, coming out in about a month. The Dr. Seuss movie adaptation ranking with Movies and Milk. But for the time being, we've got The Grinch up against Cat in the Hat. Now, I don't know if this is a tie-in for any specific Grinch movie, but it looks...
It's the Jim Carrey tie-in, I believe.
Oh my. But they went with like an art style of the original cartoon.
I don't know why.
I've only played the Cat in the Hat here, so all right. SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie, the video game, versus Rugrats in Paris, the movie, the video game. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Sorry, Rugrats.
SpongeBob.
The sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this game is only slightly not as good as Battle for Bikini Bottom, which means that it's a contender for like the winner of this list.
In the next round, we've got E.T. for the Atari 2600 up against Men in Black Alien Crisis, which I think was the Men in Black 3 tie-in game.
So bad.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. E.T.
For the meme alone.
Have you played the game?
No, but I mean the story around it.
I have.
I've beaten the game.
Damn.
Can we appreciate how I seeded this next one?
We've got Charlie's Angels up against Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I need to look up both these games real quick.
I do too, but I also don't.
I know what I'm picking, but
This is a little weird for me because I played the Game Boy Advanced port of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the PlayStation 2 port of Charlie's Angels. So I feel like this isn't really a fair comparison.
Damn, the Angry Video Game Nerd did an episode on Charlie's Angels recently.
Good.
All right, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. It's Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Good morning, Angels.
We've got robots up against
Two robot games.
Blade Runner. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Blade Runner.
Robots.
Blade Runner.
Robots.
Okay, so the reason that I'm saying Blade Runner is kind of unironically, this game is a semi-revolutionary detective point-and-click adventure that has like randomized outcomes every time that you play the story, which like
It looks pretty good.
is pretty fucking cool. Yeah, like the only thing about this game that's like, oh, it kind of like comes off as cheap is like they couldn't get the rights to like use Harrison Ford's likeness. So you're not playing as Deckard, you're playing as like not Deckard. But like
Playing as K.
sort of.
I've never played the Blade Runner game or even heard of it until this bracket. I'm only saying robots for the fucking shit post. If the Blade Runner game's actually good, I think it should move on. I just know the surfing levels with Big Weld are kind of lit.
The robots game is like a fine little like movie tie-in game, but the Blade Runner game does sound interesting.
I'd rather play the Blade Runner game right now, so if that helps, yeah, maybe we just have Blade Runner move on. We've got Peter Jackson's King Kong versus Terminator Salvation. 3, 2, 1. Terminator Salvation.
Terminator.
Oh, Peter Jackson's King Kong. Wait, the King Kong game is actually good, guys.
James Cameron's Avatar the game up against Tron Evolution, which is the tie-in game for Tron Legacy. 3, 2, 1.
Avatar.
Avatar.
Avatar?
You know, rip Daft Punk. This is actually an interesting round. We've got Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, the movie tie-in game, up against Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game.
So these two are both together because they both star two Sims.
Two soy boy Sims.
Hey Peter, today we're talking about Sims.
The Scott Pilgrim the game is cool, but I don't know. When I think of movie tie-in games, I really think of the Revenge of the Sith game as like top tier.
The Godfather the game versus Reservoir Dogs the game. 3, 2, 1.
The Godfather the game, question mark?
Yes, yes. All right, we've got Spider-Man, the first one, up against Spider-Man 3. Is that what I'm looking at?
That's Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay. So we don't even need to talk about this round.
Josh, what are the next two Spider-Man games?
It is the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man and the first Amazing Spider-Man game.
Oh, thank you. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Amazing.
The Amazing Spider-Man. It's actually a good game.
Yeah.
I would think just with the time that's passed alone between those two titles, like it has to be amazing, right?
Iron Man versus Iron Man 2. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Bro, I don't fucking know. Iron Man 1.
Iron Man.
Ang Lee's Hulk game versus the Incredible Hulk game. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's the Incredible Hulk.
Ang Lee's Hulk.
Ang Lee's Hulk.
Ang Lee's Hulk.
We've got Thor versus Captain America movie tie-in games. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Gonna say Captain America.
Captain America.
Captain America.
X-Men Origins Wolverine video game versus Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer video game.
The Fox round.
3, 2, 1. Silver Surfer.
Origins Wolverine.
Origins Wolverine. Silver Surfer's not a good game.
Origins Wolverine is actually like a surprisingly just good game, period.
Batman Begins movie tie-in game versus Batman Forever movie tie-in game.
Wow, two things I barely knew existed.
3, 2, 1. Batman Forever?
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever.
Yeah, Batman Forever.
The Superman Returns movie tie-in game? I think that's what I'm looking at. Versus Green Lantern, the game. 3, 2, 1.
Superman?
If it's better than Superman 64, then Superman Returns the game.
I'm sure it is because Green Lantern is like sitting right next to Thor in terms of quality.
Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End versus Narnia, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. 3, 2, 1. It's Pirates again.
Yeah, it's Pirates.
Okay.
The Narnia game's fine, but the Pirates game's actually good, and I'll elaborate when it's needed.
You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets versus Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone games. 3, 2, 1.
Chamber of Secrets?
Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban versus Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
A bean!
Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix versus the
Half-Blood Prince.
Half-Blood Prince.
Both of these games are super similar with like the same map of Hogwarts, but it's like an open world type game. It's wild.
I say Half-Blood Prince. All right, and then the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 games. 3, 2, 1.
Part 2.
Part 2. Part 2's cool.
Okay, we are down to the final four. The four best movie tie-in video games are Cars, Blade Runner, Spider-Man 2, and GoldenEye 007.
I'm sorry, Jory.
Honestly, I really like this Final Four.
3 of these 4 were the ones I was expecting, and I think Blade Runner's a nice little like bonus that I was not anticipating.
Yeah. As much as I've been singing the praises for Blade Runner, like Cars as a movie tie-in game, let's be honest, movie tie-in games exist mostly for parents to buy for their children. Cars is kind of the poster child of success for that.
And it worked. How much money did this game make?
I feel like just the marketing surrounding Cars is why like Pixar became what Pixar was, because like the merchandise for this movie were huge. The video game tie-in was good and popular. There's a reason why Cars is a thing and why there's a plane spin-off trilogy. And all right, we've got Spider-Man 2 versus GoldenEye for the final round.
All right, I'm gonna say it. I'm going to go with Spider-Man 2 here, just because I think that the gameplay of Spider-Man 2 holds up a lot better than GoldenEye does today.
I agree.
I think that GoldenEye was revolutionary and everything, but I think that the genre that it was revolutionary for has progressed far past it.
100%. But as someone who still plays first-person shooters where you can't aim down your sights, I think GoldenEye has aged quite well. I mean, I still know people who play this game like local multiplayer. Like they run this back more often than they would say like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, like pretty frequently.
Callum doesn't count, Nate. Yeah, like not to discredit it, like all of what you're saying is completely valid, Nate, but I still think that Spider-Man 2, just as a game for somebody to like pick up and play, holds up a lot better than if somebody were to be introduced to GoldenEye like for the first time today.
I suppose, but I think it's the same argument here because I feel like Spider-Man 2 has walked so that the 2018 Spider-Man movie or game could run. I mean, like everything about that game, you know, is the same elements executed in the same way that GoldenEye inspiring Quake, which then inspired like every other modern first-person shooter, at least one that's still played like competitively, and like kind of the birth of esports, at least shooting esports.
I agree, but the gap is much shorter between Spider-Man 2 and the new Spider-Man game than GoldenEye and the latest first-person shooter.
All right, Cars versus Spider-Man 2.
Ooh,
Cars.
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Let's hear some points for or against, because I have not made a decision. And I am the tiebreaker.
I mean, we're already coming off extremely Gen Z and having these two be in the finals. I'd rather go with the underrated one of the two of these, and that's definitely Cars. I feel like people don't talk about this game enough. Everyone talks about Spider-Man 2. Anytime there's a new Spider-Man game of any capacity, even if it's just some shitty DS game, it's always compared to Spider-Man 2. It's on a pedestal. It's a good game. It's not great. Cars blows everyone's expectations out of the water of what that game could be and should be. I don't know what more you'd want from a movie tie-in game. Cars is awesome.
Alden,
Yes, Josh.
Alden, you are the biggest car stand in general here, and you are betraying it for Spider-Man 2. I want to know why.
I've played three? I think I've played 3 different Cars games, and this one is definitely the best Cars game. I've played probably more than 10 different Spider-Man games, and surprisingly not the 2 new ones. And I think this is the best Spider-Man game. So in both of their respective like IPs, they're both the best. I just think that if this Spider-Man can beat out everything but potentially the new games, and this Cars game can only beat out its own, then if Spider-Man can beat out every other game that has in that IP, and Cars can beat out I think 4 others, I don't know how many Cars games there are.
I think I'm gonna go with the underrated pick here.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for checking out this week's episode of Duel of the Takes. Next week, we are going to be in person and ranking Martin Scorsese movies. Words cannot describe how excited I am. Everyone do their homework.
Dude, I've watched so many Martin Scorsese movies. I have to admit, though, I am sorry, David Lynch. I was watching Taxi Driver on my phone last night.
Uh-oh.
Now, if you're playing the movie on a telephone, you will never in a trillion years experience the film. You'll think you have experienced it, but you'll be cheated. It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.